I love the choir. And it's just been a special part of me. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I can see it going on and flourishing forever.
Hi, my name is Mark Patterson, and I am the Director of Music here at Salisbury Presbyterian Church, Midlothian, Virginia. I'm joined today by Sharon Miller, who served here for 32 years as Director of Music before me. Welcome, Sharon. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Today, both of us have the great pleasure of talking with Scottie Woody, the longest serving member of our chancel choir, and we believe one of the longest living members of our church. Scottie, welcome. It is so good to see you and to have you here and to get to talk with you today.
Thank you, Mark.
Let's begin by talking about some of your earliest years here at Salisbury Presbyterian.
Okay.
The church began meeting on this site in October of 1965. You and Buck joined the church about a year later in December of 1966.
Yes.
And you started singing in the choir in January of 1967.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the church and the choir at that time.
Well, of course, it was just a little church, a small little sanctuary we had just little pews that had the little red cushions on them. And we joined the church in 66. And I joined the choir in 1967. And it just felt like I was where I was supposed to be at the time. I was looking for a church in Richmond. We'd been here a year or two, and I was looking for a church. So Salisbury Presbyterian was where I was interested in. Dr. Richardson, my doctor in Midlothian, also prompted me to come here. He said, you need to go, you need to join the choir. That's what we did. When I started in the choir, we had probably 5 or 6 ladies. We had Evelyn Lowry, Renee Steinbach, myself, let me think of the other, Francis Kellogg. Then we had, for the men, we had Dr. Richardson, C.B. Pearson, Oscar Bishop, T.P. Allen,
Bill
Phillips. And I believe Nancy might have been in there first with us. We started in the little sanctuary. We didn't have choir robes. And I think we just had a piano at that time. We did not have anthems that we called today. I think we just sang out of the hymn book.
Okay.
Because we didn't really have pieces of music then.
Right.
I'll never forget one time that CB asked Sherman Counts, and I think it was Sherman Counts, to sing a duet in the church. Oh my goodness. So we sang, Be Still My Soul. So every time I hear that, I think about Shirley and I singing that as a duet. But we had a great time in the choir. It was small, and it kept growing. We only had a piano, as I said. We didn't have an organ at that time. So we just grown and grown. When Sharon came in 76, the choir grew then. We had Connie Perkins, and Franklin, and a lot more that have come.
And it kept growing. Well, and Sharon, so Sharon Miller, you and your husband John came to SBC in 1976, right? And served here for 32 years,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Yes.
That still amazes me.
Yes.
And really, in my understanding, as things have been told to me, you and John are the ones who really created this lively music program that's here. And this church became known for music because of what you all did. Tell us a little bit about what you found when you got here. Obviously, Scottie was in the choir at that point.
I was in the choir, was with her forever.
And
forever.
what you did.
We had our babies together.
She did. We did. But yes, we came in 76, and the odd story on how we came here is what I think is divine intervention, because we were given a newspaper article in the want ads from John's secretary at his work, that said Southside Church needs choir director and organist, and there was a phone number. No mention of the name of the church.
Wow.
Just a phone number. John brought it home, and we called the number, and that was in the summer of '76, and we began here in September of 1976.
Wow. Wow.
They offered us the job and 3 weeks vacation, and we wanted 4 weeks. So I said, well, how about if I start a children's choir program and you all give us the extra week's vacation? And they said, that's a good deal. So we started a children's choir program.
And little did they know that
How
that
to
would
develop.
blossom
I know.
into these, masses of youth going on choir tours and.
But
oh my goodness.
got ladies of the church to sew choir robes for the children, and
Wow.
it just grew from there. So,
And we used to love when you did the shows. We did, well, I call them shows. They were like Jesus Christ Superstar,
we did.
which we did twice. We did Acts. That was early on, though, wasn't it?
Yes. It was a
Did we
musical.
do Celebrate Life?
We did. That was early on.
And did we travel with that show?
No, I
You
don't
did
think
travel.
so. The youth choir
The
did a
youth
lot
did,
of traveling.
okay.
Youth
And
did.
they traveled with Godspell, but we had done Godspell here. We also did Joseph and the Amazing
Yes, I
Technicolor
love that
Dream
one.
Show.
Yeah.
Did we do that twice?
No, just
Once.
once. But we did Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes. Shirley Nunley sang. Was it Shirley singing that, or was it Christine?
No, Fiddler on the Roof was Christine.
Okay.
Oh, we did one called Children of Eden
Yes, yes.
too. Yes, and that was
And,
that was a
and
great.
these musicals were intergenerational, right? I mean,
Yes.
these were
Oh, yes.
these were adult choir, children, youth, and the whole church really. I mean, involved.
Yes, anyone that was third grade up
Okay. Yeah.
could be in the musical. So we had a cast of, I'm not kidding, about 125.
Oh, we did.
Wow. Oh wow.
And all
And
done right in here.
all done right here. We would give 3 performances. It was packed, each one, singing, dancing, great leads. We had such talent here.
Did we video any of those?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
yes,
And we've
there's
got some
videos.
photos
Have you?
from
Yeah.
Yeah.
several of those to share.
Yeah,
As
but
part
we
of it.
would do one every other year. And the adults loved it, and the kids loved it, and the congregation seemed to love it too. So
Oh, they did.
it was, it was great fun.
I bet. And so, Scottie, you kind of got to witness that. I mean, coming
I
from
was
just
part of it.
beginnings,
She was
you
in
were
it.
you
I
were
was in
part of
all of
all
them.
of that from the
Jesus Christ
very beginning
Superstar.
to
Oh, from the
see
very beginning.
this. Yeah.
Yes, until the last one we did. I don't know when that was. I mean,
The last one we did when I was here was in 2007, and that was Fiddler on the Roof.
okay. Okay.
But oh no, she doesn't miss a beat. She was.
I was at all of them.
You were in all of
in
them. Okay.
all
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we did Jesus Christ twice because I remembered the words. So,
That's
you know,
good.
you didn't have to memorize everything again.
Right.
We had to memorize it all unless we
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did a
right,
hand
because
sheet,
you're
you know.
on stage at
We're
that
on
point.
stage
You have
and you can't.
to.
And
Oh,
if you
yeah.
couldn't remember your lines, the next person would.
Right.
So you could follow in with them.
And we
Right.
would turn the sanctuary into a stage area. We would have the transepts were over here, which aren't here anymore, and the other side. So we built platforms on top of the pews, so that
To make a
you know,
whole
different
stage area.
scenes,
I see.
or either some kids would be over here. I don't know. We had them everywhere.
Some ideas for you, Mark, right?
That's right. We're
Yeah, yeah.
always, I think we're always about how can we fit people here, when we
yes,
do orchestra or anything
exactly.
like that. It's where are we going to squeeze this person in or that person in.
Exactly.
So that
And
that
the-
creativity has been going for a long time.
The adults certainly were part of that, but then with the adults, we didn't travel like you're traveling with
right.
them, but we did major works like we did Heightened
Yes,
Creation, and we
yes.
do Messiah, we do other big works.
Hallelujah
and some
Chorus was a
concerts.
tradition.
Well,
that,
yes,
right? That was
it was.
a tradition every
And
year.
The
and-
choir grew to, I think it was like 48 when I left. Now you've taken that to
Yeah.
a new level.
Well,
What
it's,
is it now, Mark? The
I
number?
got to build. We're right at 70 people, and we've had some
Amazing.
coming and
I
going.
know.
I mean, with the pandemic was a tough time. We'll
Right.
talk
Oh,
about
yes,
that a
I
little
remember
bit.
that.
So we had an interim. Joanne Sherman and Laura Miles
uh-huh.
led the music program after Sharon had served those 32 years. I arrived in 2009. And here we are in August of 2025.
Yeah.
So that's 16 years that I've been here, which has flown by. 32 years of Sharon, and Scottie singing all the while.
I have, and singing in not only the chancel choir, but the Jubilation choir,
Right, and
the
that.
Joyful Voices choir.
Well, so Scottie, a little bit later, I guess, in my time, we got to do a little bit of traveling.
Oh,
We
yes.
went to New York to sing at Carnegie
Loved
Hall
it.
and the National Cathedral and Scotland and some things like that. What are some highlights in your memory about those
Well,
special
I love the
events?
National Cathedral. That was just a beautiful place to sing. I mean, we had the buses underneath.
Yes.
We all rode on buses, and that was wonderful. And then when we went to New York, Carnegie Hall was not as large as I thought it was going to be. I thought,
Right,
I mean, I thought it was going to be this huge. It is big, but it's not what I thought.
It's not just
But
massive.
I remember
yeah.
the times that we would get on the subway with Mark, and we'd ride. We went to the Staten Island Ferry.
Right, right.
We took the ferry, and then they wanted to find ice cream.
Huh?
Well, we marched all over downtown looking for ice cream shop with Mark, and we had the
We
best
did.
time. And it's
We did. One of my favorite memories on that trip with you is we took the train. Not everybody,
We
but
did
some of
take
us
the
took
train,
the
yes.
train to New York. Now the buses were DC, but we took the train there. And I remember you had brought fudge
Oh,
for
gosh,
everybody
yeah.
because that was Scottie's
that's my
thing.
land. That's my.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you went and found the train conductor and brought him a thing of fudge.
I
First of all. And then I think we ended up having to sing for him because you had told him, you explained what we
I
were
said,
doing.
"We're
It's like, well, I
choir."
want to hear y'all sing a little bit. And so,
My
so
fudge
we
is
got
my,
to do that.
Oh, I know. You would
Yeah.
give us every Christmas.
I
We
know.
got
Last year was
a
the
tin
first
of
time I
fudge.
haven't made fudge in 50 years, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've turned it over to Ashley. I mean, Lily, hopefully.
Oh,
She'll
good.
do it. But no, I would always take fudge, even when we went to Scotland.
Right.
I think I
Did you
did
take
fudge.
some to Scotland too? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ashley
goodness.
was 39 years old. While we were there in Scotland, I took her with us. And I loved Scotland.
Yeah.
Even though we rode the bus a lot, we loved just looking at the beautiful pastures and the sheep and just the history of Scotland.
It was a beautiful.
It
It was a
was-
beautiful
we saw the
place, and
beautiful
we
churches and
were fortunate
cathedrals.
to do that in 2019, just before
Yes,
the
before
pandemic. We did
COVID.
not know. I want to back up a second and talk about Jubilation Choir because I think one of the things that attracted me here was all of the thriving choirs for all the different ages. I mean, there was children's choir, there was a hugely successful youth choir, Jubilation Choir. And so that was your vision and I'm curious how you even found the time to do that because you fulfilled your promise upon hiring to start a children's choir, but then you had this massive youth choir and the tours, and that's so much time. And then tell us a little bit about creating Jubilation Choir because that opened up a whole new window for people.
Well, it was probably about 1999, and I just felt the need to start a community seniors choir as an outreach of this church. So I drew up a plan. I went to the session, and they said, we'll think about it. And this kind of went on for almost 2 years. I kept going back to the session,
Wow.
saying, I'm still here, and I still have this idea. And then I'll never forget, I was at a session meeting, and they voted yes. They gave me the okay. And I was so excited. And they said, no, you can start a search committee. And I said, oh, we don't need one. Because I know the perfect person
Yes.
Yes.
to take this. And they said, really? And I said, just trust me. I went to Christine Smith and I said, hey, are you interested in starting a seniors choir for the community? She jumped at it. And I mean, we all know the
yes.
rest is history.
Right.
We put an ad in the paper, and because we wanted to reach out to the greater community.
Let people know
Yes,
about
exactly.
this new group. Yeah.
And in September of 2001, we had our first rehearsal in the fellowship hall. 25 people came, and we were thrilled. And then Christine just took the ball and ran with it.
Yes.
She ran with it from there.
She did, and they loved her. She made it fun.
Oh, she did.
She taught good music and good technique, and
And
We had good fun.
It
Fellowship.
was, and it's still going
and
on
it,
today.
and it
It's
continues
still
to
going.
thrive and do
Yes.
its mission. You know,
Yes.
it's a wonderful group, and I think about, you know, Scottie and
Oh, I
so many
loved
people
it.
who've sung with that group and
Yes.
how that added to what we were doing in chancel choir. You know, singing for church
Yes.
on Sunday mornings, but that opened up this whole new dimension, I think,
did.
of fellowship and of outreach, and so
People from different
Wonderful.
churches, different views, everybody
yeah,
coming together
right, and very
for the
much
glory
a-
of God to sing.
a
It's all we wanted to do.
community. Well, Sharon, talk to us some more. Take us through some of the highlights of your time here. 32 years is hard to summarize in an afternoon, even. But talk to us about some of your favorite memories and things that you got to do here.
Oh, wow. Everything. I mean, I enjoyed every one of those 32 years immensely. They're some of my most cherished memories. I'll talk about the youth choir program
Yes.
because that was so dear to me. I got probably more out of it than they did.
Oh, yeah.
But it started about 1991 and started with about 20 youth, ages, grades 6 through 12. And we did this like musical, it's called Heart Song. And I got them together and said, hey, we're gonna go on a long weekend trip and we're gonna present our music, you know, a couple places and all that. And they seemed to like that. And after that, I realized we could do more. So it grew, and it kept growing. And we started with more public service, outreach things. And that was really the key to the whole thing.
Right, and
the
that
music,
mission really became
yes.
the focus as these trips evolved.
And we
right?
just call it the Music and Mission Program. And the kids really began to see life as different, or a different slice of life than maybe what they were growing up with, and the need to go and serve the greater community. So then we started fundraising, and we went to cities all across the U.S. and even to Toronto. And we would do about a week or 9 days. We grew to about 85, 90 youth.
Wow.
And they had full programs that they would lead at either churches or homeless centers or prisons or aid centers. And then they would be divided into about 6 different work teams. And they would go out during the day to build houses, or they would even design and run their own VBS at different impoverished areas, homeless centers, cooking, scrubbing, cleaning, and then we would lead chapel services different places. And we would come back together at night, and they would share their experiences and the things. And it became a very personal and meaningful thing for them and for the chaperones, and especially for me.
I know we went to Newport News. We sang to church down there. And Greggy Garrett and I built youth with chaperones some of those trips.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yes.
with you all.
Yes.
So you were along on some
Along
of
on
those
those
did.
trips, yes.
we
with
did.
Ashley
Ashley was in it,
singing.
yes.
Yeah.
Ashley was, because it was 1991.
1991,
She would have
Ashley
been
would have
11
in
years.
there, yes.
Yeah, she did it.
She
yes.
did.
I don't know if she went to Toronto, but I know she did. We did I thought we went to New Jersey. Or
We did that. We went to
Okay.
New York,
we
New
went
Jersey.
to New York, yes.
Yes, we did, and then stopping places along the way. And then after that, oh my gosh, we went to San Francisco. We had been in Chicago. We'd been in Toronto.
And this is with
been
a
in
bunch of
Los
youth.
Angeles.
Mark,
Right,
yes.
with a bunch of teenagers.
Yes.
Yes,
And
and
parents,
it
yeah.
was interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No dull moments on those. And
No, they were good. Marty came on the scene.
right, Marty Thompson.
1995. Now, before that, my wonderful husband, John, the organist, he was our accompanist. for the children's choir and the youth choir. So he can tell you some stories, I'm sure, as well.
Yes.
But then Marty came on the scene in 1995, and she joined in because she had 2 sons that participated in the youth choir program. And she became my partner in crime. And she and I would plan these trips. We'd go scout them out, and then we'd, pencil in
Take them on.
roommates, and we'd take them on with a crew of chaperones. Barb Unger was always
Yes,
a chaperone.
yes. Love it.
She never missed being a chaperone.
Love it.
Her 2 sons were in it. And it was just a great
Those
experience.
chaperones are key to that.
Chaperones
Oh my
make it fun.
gosh.
I think we have a picture
Yes.
maybe from Toronto of you all outside in your flag. It's like a flag
Because
shirt, and the wind is blowing like crazy. Whoever's at the piano, I don't know if it's Marty or you, but the wind is just, you can tell the wind is just going crazy. And so I was thinking about who was at the piano, because your music is probably going all over the place.
Probably Marty. The story with those shirts for Toronto is that we auditioned to sing at a Yankees Blue Jays game, the national anthem, and we got it. And so we just had to have the shirts to go along with it.
Okay.
So we were, and that
it looks
was
great.
it was great. And we were out on the field, and we had all these, professional baseball players standing right around along with us, which really got the youth excited about that.
I bet.
So
did
yes,
some fun
but that's
trips.
why we had the shirts
Yeah.
for that.
You did some great trips.
We
The
did.
youth, and then Mark takes on the elderly.
Well,
I
the
can't say the
adults of all ages, but we have our
There you
own.
go.
We have our own issues we have to deal with on tour. But it's still fun and
It's
different.
fun, and
those. I mean, when I came on the scene, having inherited some of those youth and those youth parents, the inspiration that happened on those trips, that has carried for generations.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still people, 16, 17, 18 years later talking about those trips. And so that, that was a vision that you had. Obviously, you built that youth choir out of nothing. There was no previous choir here, but you had the vision for that. And that just planted all these wonderful seeds that still continue to germinate, seeds of faith.
I
So
love that age group,
it's
and
fantastic.
most people run away from that age group,
I know, but
and I run to it. But
you
my
fit in with
dad
it.
was an elder in the Presbyterian Church, and he was head of the youth group, and he loved that. So I think I just kind of came by it naturally.
And you connected with them, and
Yes,
and we have one of those youth, Zach Rowland, serving here now as children's minister.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Zach
but
Rowland, yeah.
Zach Rowland,
Oh, no
one of
kid-
your
oh,
youth choir
Zach,
kids, has
yes.
just recently joined us on staff as our minister to children and youth. So it's amazing how those fruits come back to us. Well, Scottie, let's talk a little bit about your experience in chancel choir over the years, kind of looking back now over these 59 years.
Yes.
I always feel like when we sing in a choir, we're part of something larger than just ourselves. We feel this connection to each person out there singing with us. Have there been specific people over the years that have really been that connection point for you?
I think everyone has just been a connection to me. Because when I meet people and just a part of them, I just feel they're part of my heart, and everybody's that way with me. Ella Johnson has always been very special to me. I mean, she's always just, I would be singing, she said, "Oh, you've got a pretty voice," and I think, I don't think I do, but that's okay. But she'd say, "You do," and she's just always been that way, but I can't, I have so many people that's been in this choir.
And those encouragers, those,
Always encouragers.
And you're one of those people. I mean, I
Well,
know when
I try
came,
to be that way.
You are, and those encouragers, and somebody new has come to choir,
Right.
and
I try to
there's
make
Scottie
them
out saying, "Well,
welcome.
hi, I'm Scottie," and
I've always tried to be a peacemaker, never like a disturbance. And I don't think we've ever had that in the choir that I know of.
no,
And we've just always gotten along.
well, that's,
Everybody loves each other.
yes.
That's why we're still
It's
here.
family.
It is totally family.
And you've been a huge part of that, because you're
She
one of those
has.
people. You're one of those connector people. It's like somebody comes in, they're not going to be a stranger for long.
Right, no, not for,
And
not to
Beth,
me.
Beth Thomas was that way to
I
me,
know. Oh,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
but those people who just make a connection, and that makes people feel at home,
welcome.
at ease.
Yeah, you've got to have someone like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because when you come into a choir like that, you feel like, well, you're just kind of out that left field.
Right.
But if you pull them into your group, and we have a great way of parties and
Right,
that
right.
kind of
And
things that we
that's-
get them in. And
Sharon had, you all had a long tradition
Oh,
of the
yeah.
choir
Yes.
parties, and
And we
I
still
think
do.
I remember somebody telling me early on, now you've got to keep the parties, whatever
Yeah,
you
you
can do
gotta
whatever
keep-
you
yeah,
want, but
yeah,
we've got to
right.
have the choir parties.
so Mark already starts at planning
So
the
we had
parties.
to, that was quite a tradition
Right.
of just fun and fellowship.
You
and,
have to.
And I think singing is such it's a vulnerable thing because it's yourself, you're putting yourself out there, and you have to feel that support from everybody to know that we're all.
You are the instrument. I know,
We're
I'll
all
never
in
forget you
that
told me
together.
one time. You can play a guitar, but you are an instrument yourself
Right.
with your
That's-
voice.
That's
Right,
true.
Right.
And
so-
you just try to do the best you can. And if you can't hit that high note, then the next person next to you might
That's
hit
right.
it.
We
So you
carry
just-
each other through
Exactly.
that.
You just stand
so,
and smile,
yeah,
read the music, or do the best you can, and sing.
yeah.
And Mark has been wonderful, as you were, but he's been wonderful to keep us moving in a good, steady track, and always doing interesting things, giving us some hard pieces sometimes.
Some
isn't it?
challenges, yes.
Challenges,
yes.
that's right.
And you bet you all
But,
have always risen to whatever challenges.
have.
I mean, it's
Because
amazing.
we love you, and
Well,
we
it's,
love this music, and
It's a joy to get to do, and has been a joy, as Sharon said. There's
is.
there's
if you
just
didn't love it, you wouldn't want to do it.
you wouldn't do it. Oh, it's
No,
too,
and,
it's
I mean,
yeah.
some nights I'd say, I don't think I want to go to choir tonight, but I said, no, I need to go.
That's right.
And once you're here, you're part of your family.
Yes.
That's right.
And they're always there since I've been having this illness. People have called me and texted me and check on me all the time and pray for me, so that's important to me.
It is.
That is.
And if you didn't, I can't imagine someone not having a church family to lean on. And the choir is the most important.
And the choir is the
Part of
heart
my
of that.
church
Heart of
family.
that.
It is.
I want to talk about history a little bit, kind of look at some bigger picture history thing, because you have sung in this choir over 59 years.
Yes.
Our nation has, of course, had some pivotal
Yes.
events. I mean, you were singing in this church when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
I was
Civil
driving to
rights.
choir that night, and a news bulletin came on and said that he'd been assassinated.
Wow.
And it was hard, so that was the topic of our choir
Yeah,
that night.
yeah.
But yes,
I mean, it can't help but change what
Yes.
you're thinking about when you're singing and you're shaping your faith. I mean, the Vietnam War,
oh,
Watergate.
and the Vietnam War, we knew it was going on. We didn't have it thrown in our face like we do today with the war on
Media
the TV.
was different,
Roger
right.
Oh, yeah.
Cronkite was the only person that would come on the news at night and maybe tell you something that happened. But we knew it was going on, but we didn't know what exactly
Yeah.
was happening like we do today with
You don't
the
have
news
you
world.
didn't have video in everybody's
No.
pocket and all of that.
And 9/11,
Right, and Sharon, this is you were here for September
oh yes,
11th, 2001. That and there was in the church, the angels came
Right.
out of
Oh,
that,
yes.
right?
Yes. Well, on 9/11, the church decided to hold a community service, special service. And so we had the choir rehearse a special set of music for that. And it was a great way to come together and grieve, I guess,
Yes.
as a community.
Yes.
So we had a big service with that. And then actually Sandy Albert started
Right.
the angel at Christmas, the wooden angels.
yes. We
And
still
you could
have
put
one.
them
We put
in,
it every year.
and you still have that out there.
Still have it, put it
yes,
out every
that's
year.
still going strong on
And
the
we
field
would-
out here. It's
Yes,
over on that side
yes.
of the church where the field is
We had
open.
a big dedication service for that, which the choirs and the youth sang, and that was a great thing. That came, I'd say, soon after the 9/11.
And that was, I think, if I remember
2001.
right, some of her inspiration was responding to that moment of September 11th.
Yes.
And so it's intriguing to me how those things have shaped some of what the choir's done and what the church has done. I think about the COVID pandemic in 2020.
I will never forget us
And
going
that
to
was a huge,
Yes.
crazy time, for choir. I think for the first time ever, singing became dangerous.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we went and sang outside. We had to we've got a picture of us spaced out in the choir loft with our masks, which everybody hated. myself
garage.
included. We sang in the parking garages, but
Second Presbyterian, wasn't it?
yes, Second Presbyterian downtown.
Gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Because we got the acoustic of
Yes.
an inside building, but we had the fresh air from the outside.
Everyone was
from
spaced
the
6
garage.
feet apart in this
But,
parking
that was a
deck.
crazy time,
Yeah, it really was.
and that was a time where I wasn't sure the choir. I mean, we had never faced anything like that, and it amazes me that we've been able to bounce back, because that was really a tough. And we could only have a certain number of people. We had to sign up, because we could only have 8 people in the loft on any Sunday, so we had to rotate around.
And on Easter, we all caught it.
And, right.
I caught the first time I caught it.
Yes, and as all
choir.
those variants, then people would come, and then 5 people would be sick. It's like, oh my gosh,
I know. What do you do?
So it was a crazy time. Well, Scottie, if you could sum it up, what has singing in choir meant to you personally over these years?
Well, it has strengthened my faith. It always does, because it's always coming here to see the people. Even though I'm not singing with you all right now, I still enjoy being here and listening to you. But it's been my life. I love this church. I love the choir. And it's just been a special part of me. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I can see it going on and flourishing forever.
We certainly
And
hope
whenever
so.
you decide to leave, hopefully somebody good like you will come. But,
Well, we're all built on the previous person's shoulder. I mean, I wouldn't be here had it not been for what you did, because it's that thriving program that you really created that
That you were
attracted
interested
me,
in, yeah.
and that still keeps the other singers in place. So it's interesting. I think that's part of our faith journey, is how God layers those experiences, and we get to we get to build on the great things that Sharon did, and explore different roads and things too. But that's part of what's been so fun about having all 3 of us here today, and to think about your journey through all of that.
Brian and Jan Fatsanger were here before you came.
I remember them. Yes.
And they came up and they handed us this anthem, Grace. And they gave it to us. We sang it. I said, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And then at the end they said, this is going to be your new choir director. And we all said, my gosh,
That was
I
the
cannot
teaser.
believe it. But that is a beautiful
Love
anthem.
it.
And we
Thank
still
you.
sing it sometimes.
Thank you. This cup of grace. Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
But the church hit the jackpot with
Oh, did
Mark.
we? Well, we had a jackpot. Then we hit the bigger
Well, I don't know. I still think they owe you for your children's choir deal,
I
because
did
they
too.
got,
They did. It was
they got a
fantastic.
fantastic youth choir out of
They
that
did.
too.
But honestly, they hit the jackpot when they got Mark, and there's not one person that wouldn't say that,
Oh,
because
listen,
Wow.
I've heard many people in the choir say,
Wow.
they
It's,
love,
retires.
love you.
I'm going to retire. I said, oh my gosh.
we're going to try to keep him singing for a
Keep him
good bit
singing,
longer,
and-
but it's
I mean, you've got such great
it's
trips.
a job that gives back. I mean, you know this and spoke to this, how
Absolutely.
it's exhausting and tiring, and has its frustrating moments when you're in committee meetings and whatever, and budgets and all that. But it's when that time in rehearsal, that's that golden time to me.
It
I mean,
is.
I love rehearsals, because that's when it gives back to you, and you're making music together with these people who are wonderful.
I've never seen him frustrated. I have never seen him get out of sorts. And what choir director wouldn't want to throw the pencil down? I mean, he never does.
Good.
And we say, my gosh, is he for real?
Deep breath.
But he really
Lots of
never
deep
gets,
breaths.
never
Lots of
gets
deep
out of
breaths.
sorts. He's just mild-mannered, even-tempered. And he's got to want to pull his hair out of his head sometime with this
Well, I
choir.
think there are a few gray hairs that came.
Yeah, well, you
over the
have
years,
got
so
a little gray.
There has been a progression there. So.
Scottie's 1 in a million.
Oh,
I
agree
mean,
with
everybody
that.
loves Scottie, and you are such an inspiration to me, always have been, always will be, and to so many.
well,
I mean, I
That's why
love
I'm
having
here.
this time with you.
I know.
Because she just glows.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
she
Well,
glows.
I try to glow even though I don't want to glow. Sometimes somebody said, well, you look so good. I said, well, I look good, but I don't feel good today or something,
Yeah.
But you keep on going.
Yeah.
You do.
You just keep on breathing with the help of this. Lucy, I call her.
There you go.
But
Well,
you
and
just-
you do that really well. And I've never heard you complain about, sometimes,
I know.
we all have our complaints about, my hips hurts or whatever,
I know.
and I've never hear you complain.
Well, I try not to.
And not that it's okay to complain, but
Well, it is.
you bring this beautiful, positive energy every Sunday that I see
does.
you, whether
She
you're
does.
whether you're up in the choir loft or out here in the
Singing and listening to
congregation.
y'all singing, trying to smile at everybody, wave at
That's
everybody.
right. Yes.
And I try
yes.
to do that.
You do.
It's just part of me.
Yes.
Yes.
And you
it
can't
is.
change your personality.
No.
It is.
And it's what I am.
Well, we hope you don't, because it's wonderful.
Oh, I hope I never change either.
You won't.
It's wonderful. That's
You won't.
just
You've
who
gone
you
this
are.
long. You're not changing.
I know God will give me right many more years to go
We
with
hope so. We hope
His
so.
guidance and faith. And
Yes, because
prayers.
even these last few months when you haven't been able to sing with us,
Yes.
we get up here and that's the first thing that these people are looking for is Scottie out there,
And you know-
because they're looking for that.
And Emery Minnick will say, look out, the parade's going to start at the church. And they all come down to see me after church.
Absolutely,
They come down to greet
absolutely,
me. So I just
because
makes me
that's
feel
still you're
wonderful.
still inspiring them.
Yeah, and that's,
even
Yes.
so.
that's very special to me.
Yes.
That's meaningful.
To feel like I am still cared about. Even though I'm not up there singing,
Absolutely.
they still care about me. And that's what's special.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
I know, and I care about all of them.
And we still do, and that continues forever. So that
I
doesn't
know.
ever change. I think
The
we're
only
good.
thing I was going to say
Yeah.
is about the history of the organs. At
Oh,
the
let's
church.
talk
yeah,
about that.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Because there was, I believe, John said, when we first came here, an amplified small reed organ.
Was it in the old sanctuary?
Oh, yeah.
So that
in
must have been
76.
in the original sanctuary. Okay.
Yeah. Now, before that, you
I
said
think
there
it
was
just-
piano.
I think it was just a piano.
And then the next year, we and John contracted with Lewis and Hitchcock, organ builder.
Right, and we've got a photo of that organ, I
Yes.
think. Yes.
You have the next one.
Okay.
The Jardine.
We have the Jardine. That's
Yes.
right. I'm sorry. Yes.
But in 77, he worked with Lewis and Hitchcock and got the 4-rank organ, and that came to the new sanctuary. But soon after, the Jardine came.
Okay.
I believe it was 1867.
They did 18
Yes. Okay. That's
Yes.
we have the photo
And
of that
I think
organ,
that might have had 10 ranks, something like that.
and that was right up here.
And that
in
was
the
a tracker
same,
organ,
Same space
right
tracker,
there.
right up the
And that
console right up against
lasted
it.
until 2000, end of 2007, we did a fundraiser, and the congregation was very generous, and then we got the Cassavant organ. And so John was instrumental in putting that in, and then we left.
But that
You're
Cassavant
retired.
is still
You're
here,
retired.
The
and
Cassavant
it's still
is
making
still
great
here.
music.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
and that those organ projects, which I imagine John had. He had a lot of sleepless nights trying to figure out what are we doing here and how to plan those. But those have served this church over all that time too, and facilitated. I mean, you think about all the song hymns that have been sung
Yes. Oh gosh.
with those organs.
Yes.
It's a lot of wonderful congregational singing.
Organ just makes such a difference in the sanctuary. It
does.
just
It
does.
It does, and it's
There's,
it's
know.
somebody said one time the organ, the voice is a wind instrument, and the organ is a wind instrument, and those two go together so beautifully. Because of that, and it's I think what an organ does in congregational singing especially
yes,
is so important because it fills the room
Right.
in that way.
it's just uplifting.
Yes.
Oh, it is. And music is uplifting. And everyone that comes to this church says that. The choir and the music is why they come.
You and I know when you get to spend your life doing what you love, it's not really work.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's just pure joy and fulfillment. And I just feel so lucky that I've been able to spend my career in something that I'm so passionate about, because it was fun.
Yeah.
It is
was-
fun, and in a place that appreciates that, and
Right.
Yes.
It's like a team.
People,
You're a team.
yeah, absolutely,
Like,
and
that's
it's
anything.
it's
Everybody is a part of that team.
the church has
Yes.
really valued that, over the years, and appreciated that. Both the people in the choir, but the people in the congregation
Oh, yes. They love
who
it.
don't want to sing, but who appreciate all that is. So it's been a wonderful journey.
Yes,
It has.
Well, Scottie, if you could look into the future, 20 years from now, and come back and see this church and this choir, what would you hope to see?
I'd hope to see the flourishing choir and the people who love being in the choir and just enjoying themselves as much as I have. And with God's grace and God's will, it will happen. people will keep flocking to the church, seeing this choir, because music ministry is a big part of this church. I don't know whether you know that, but it is.
It is.
And a lot of people come because of that.
It is.
So
Well,
they
and I
will
think
flourish.
we live in a much more transitory age. I don't know
Yes.
how many people are at the same church in the same choir for 59
Not
years
many.
these
Oh,
days.
gosh,
You know?
Not
no.
many
I mean, that
people.
is, I think
No.
your story is so remarkable in that
Yes.
way, because you committed to this church and said, okay, that's the church for me, but
Right.
then it was your church. And so through changes in pastors and changes in music directors and all that, you stayed
I stayed
steady and
because it was-
faithful because that was your church.
Right, it was my church, and nothing was going to run me away.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
we might have had bad times, as we have had with all different pastors and circumstances, but it was the choir that kept me here.
And that's kind of what our faith is. Our
Yes,
faith
it is.
is sticking, we know that God sticks with us through the good and the
Thick and
bad
thin.
and the ugly and the funny, and God is there with us. And so that's your story, I think, is a wonderful model for that.
Well, I am just glad to be here to share it.